at Oklahoma State University's facility greenhouses because I wanted to show you something that's happening behind the scenes as the campus gets ready for spring. Holly Pasmore is joining us, and you are the greenhouse coordinator and responsible for getting all of the annual plants ready to go out on campus. Can you tell us a little bit about the timeline and what it takes to get these plants ready for this spring?
Well, the process starts in June, and we decide on a color scheme, and then we decide on the plants.
Okay.
And then we get them in and bump them up, and then they're ready to go out in May.
So when you say you get them in, how do they come in looking like this? What size are they when they come in?
They come in a 288 plug size, which is really small.
And then at that point, you mentioned you bump them up. So you've got them in about 4.5-inch containers here, some in different sizes. How do you decide which size container you're going to put them in?
The more aggressive plants will bump up into like a 6-inch pot. This stuff that will hold a little bit longer, we put those in the 4.5-inch.
Okay. So you don't plant those in the large pots right away, so you don't lose the plug in such a large amount of soil, right? Because it could potentially rot a little bit. You slowly bring them up into that bigger size pot.
Yes.
Okay. So we have a lot of tags in all of these. They look like they're going to go to a retail nursery. Can you explain to me why you put tags in every single one of these pots if they're just going to go out into your containers out on campus?
Well, a lot of the plants that we get in are patented. When you have a patented plant, you have to buy the tag with it.
Okay, so it's kind of labeling it that you haven't illegally taken cuttings of it or anything. You've paid for the royalties of these plants to have them.
Yes.
All right. And some of them also have actual containers that they come with. So we know again that this is a particular branded plant, and it is what you ordered, that you are getting the right plant that you ordered.
Right.
Excellent. So, you know, looking around here, you've got some sticky cards. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have to be aware of as far as insects and what you do to scout those insects?
The cards are a good starting point. Any greenhouse needs a good scouting program, and your main pests are your thrips, your spider mites, and your aphids, and anything else that happens to crop up. But if you're not scouting your plants, you don't know what's there.
Okay.
So the cards are a good area if you notice something on there. Okay, well, I need to scout this area more aggressively next time.
So that's just kind of a general indicator, but you still are out here every day looking through the plants with your eyes and checking them. And what sort of treatments do you use? Are they biological treatments that you use if you find some whiteflies or thrips?
Most of them are biological. Sometimes we have to go a little bit heavier.
Okay, all right. And you've got a couple of sweet potato vines that are out from the main group. Why are these setting aside here?
Well, those have spider mites on them.
So again, you know, even as professionals, we have to deal with insects, and one of the best things to do is kind of quarantine some of those plants and pull them out from the bigger herd so that we don't infect all of those plants, correct?
Right.
Okay, great. So Holly, you have 4 greenhouses that you are coordinating here, and we're in a different one, and there's a lot of perennials growing in this greenhouse. Why do you grow perennials in one house and your annuals in a different house?
The perennial house stays cooler, and it runs about 40 at night.
Okay.
And that's just to hold the perennials so they don't come out of dormancy.
Okay, and we've got fans throughout all of these greenhouses. Can you tell us why we have those fans, and some are on, some are off?
It's more airflow.
Okay.
So we don't get diseases and botrytis and issues like that to come up.
So that's part of the health of the plant?
Yes.
Okay, and we're walking towards something that's kind of interesting over here in the back of the greenhouse. This is where you actually house these topiaries all winter long.
Yes.
And you're working on propagating some additional plants to fill in so that it'll look its best this spring. Can you tell us a little bit, do you take cuttings off of this, or how do you get those cuttings?
Yes, we've been taking cuttings off of the fig and some off the basket grass, and then we will, when they're rooted out, then we'll stick them into the boot.
Excellent. So when will this be going out on campus?
Probably right before graduation.
Okay, so this goes out before graduation, and you mentioned when do the plants, the annuals, go out on campus?
The annuals usually go out right after graduation because we want everything looking really well for graduation instead of looking like we just planted plants.
So you hold your winter, spring plantings a little bit longer. So y'all aren't as antsy to get out on April 15th and start planting. You've got a little bit of time then.
Yes, because
right.
it never fails that it's going to freeze after April 15th.
Sometimes. We're in Oklahoma. All right, thank you, Holly, for joining us today.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.